We're live. Hello, everyone. It's Sunday, January 8th, and this is my Instagram Live for today. And I'm really happy you guys have chosen to join me today. I'm actually going to just share some ideas first, and then towards the end, I'm going to look for somebody to come on live and either ask a question or share a win. So if you want to come on live, wait to tell me that until I give you the signal. Otherwise, if you want to come on live now, I'm not going to see it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my glasses and I'm going to actually read the little messages that come up. But, today, menopause madness. I think about this more and more and more, and the reason I do is because I have these fabulous followers, you guys, that tell me what's going on in your life, and so much I hear is, God, I hit perimenopause or menopause, and it's like, whose body am I in? This doesn't feel like my body. I'm not getting results. I don't know what to do. And it is so clear to me that what I did can work for you. I am not genetically gifted. I'm not special. I have a female body just like you do. But what I discovered was, number one, lifting weights is what's helped me to sustain my body composition and also elevate it from year to year. But the food that I eat has everything to do with how I feel, how I function, and how I can, burn off the calories through weightlifting and minimal cardio. And women we go along for years, right? And we just kind of eat whatever we want. And then all of a sudden, we're doing the same stuff. We're going to the gym. We're eating healthy, which is such a broad kind of statement, whatever healthy means to you. And then we start gaining weight. And maybe you got COVID, and during the pandemic, you were stuck inside. And there's just so much that's happened in the last few years that have not been good to women's health. And you wonder what's happening. You've got to up your game with food. Number one, food is almost more important than the weightlifting part. Weightlifting is going to give you the muscle to help you metabolize and use your food in a way it's supposed to in your body. But food is just the most important thing. Food, you've heard that phrase, food is medicine and medicine is food. It's so true. We are putting chemicals into our body, organic compounds into our body, no matter whether you eat meat or you're vegan or whatever healthy means to you. There are certain foods after a certain point in your life, your body's going to react differently. This is what I've found. This is not true for everybody, but it's been true for me. Foods that are on a FODMAP list, and FODMAP stands for a certain chemical group that breaks down in your small bowel. Foods that break down in your small bowel instead of your stomach, and it causes inflammation, gas, bloating. People with irritable bowel syndrome are very familiar with FODMAP diets. So there's foods that aggravate irritable bowel syndrome and foods that are fine for that. But people that don't have IBS can still have a reaction to those foods. So I eliminated those foods because I was having trouble bloating. Corn, peas, like stuff that's supposed to be healthy was not sitting well in my body. Apples I can't eat. It spikes my blood sugar, and then I have a reaction where my blood sugar drops, and then I get cravings. So I had to cut out any fruit besides berries that didn't have a high glycemic load. So a high glycemic load means food that turns to sugar really fast in your blood. Then I found out that dairy also causes inflammation in my body. I get plugged sinus. I get a lot of mucus in my throat. these are like tiny little adjustments, but put all together, your body's like, yes, you're on the right track now. But we just go along and we still maybe drink the wine and have the ice cream 3 nights a week, and we don't pay attention to the quality of our food, and we don't pay attention to what it's doing to our body because we feel like crap all the time anyway. It's normalized. We don't know what feeling good feels like. So my recommendation for women in menopause is to start figuring out what foods are not supporting your health. That doesn't mean these foods aren't healthy for someone else, and certainly they're healthy for people in their 20s, healthy for children. Healthy for you? Maybe not. Dairy is not good for me. It plugs me up. It causes inflammation in my body. It causes me to bloat. Now, these are things that take time to figure out. But once you figure them out, you can't use menopause as an excuse anymore for why you can't lose weight. You can't. It's your body. Your body has changed. And it's a beautiful thing. Do you know, women in this age group, 50 plus, certainly baby boomer women, we grew up calling our periods the curse or being on the rag. I mean, it was like a horrible thing to be having your period. And then all of a sudden, now, women in their 40s and celebrities have jumped on this bandwagon of, whoa, menopause. Hey, we need to celebrate menopause. We didn't grow up thinking that was something to celebrate. I wonder how they're going to feel when they're in their 60s. But the point is, if you feed your body differently, all the chemical, everything in your body is different post-menopause and perimenopause. And your hormones are readjusting and doing all kinds of things. It's totally natural. You're losing the ability to, create the conditions for getting pregnant, and your body's changing and it's becoming more powerful. A lot of women become empty nesters at that time, and that's also very powerful, even though it's sad for a lot of women when the kids are all gone. It's like, now what? So now what is to concentrate on yourself, on your health, and on figuring out what foods are going to trigger you and what foods have you normalized as being okay to eat. There's a lot of food, preservatives. I like Diet Coke. I do. I don't drink a lot of it, but when I do, I get itchy. I know there's preservatives in there that my body doesn't like. I've gotten so sensitive to foods that I know exactly what I've eaten that my body doesn't agree with. If you don't feel well and you don't pay attention to that, you're never going to know what foods you should cut out and what foods are going to make you feel great. And it's different for everybody. I can't give you a food list and say, avoid these, eat these, because your body's different. And you might be willing to get itchy skin for a day or two because you want it. That's one of your favorite foods. A lot of times food that we crave are the exact foods that are bad for us. So if you get sugar cravings, that sugar is not good for you. It's very interesting how our body, it gets sort of used to and addicted to certain foods. And when we don't have them, the cravings, the craving monster gets woken up. But there is a certain point where your body just says, okay, I'm okay if we don't eat this. I'm okay if I don't do this. I'm okay. And then you get to a point of well-being that when you eat food that is nutritious, nutrient-dense, agrees with your body chemistry post-menopause, the sense of well-being is out of this world. It's like being high. There's something really ecstatic about that feeling. It's subtle, but it's there. Your body's just saying, thank you. And you think clearer. So cognition tends to decline with age, but if you are feeding your body nutrient-rich food and exercising, that does not have to happen. It takes work. It takes work. And it is really hard to be overweight, feel out of shape, hate the way you look, feel bloated, feel tired and sluggish all the time, be depressed every time you look in the mirror. That's hard. It never gets easier. It's always hard. But if you start figuring out what your body needs, what it wants, and you apply discipline and mindset strategies, yeah, that's hard too. But it gets easier. That's what's so amazing. It's not always hard. Suddenly it's the program playing in the background all the time. And you get up in the morning, you know what you have to do, and you're happy to do it because the payoff is you feel so damn good. And that is really the goal. That is the goal, to get healthy. And getting healthy means your body's going to let go of toxic fat. And one of the things you can do to help your body do that is lower your stress level. You know, stress is such an amazing thing because what it does is it releases the cortisol hormone, the hormone cortisol, and it elevates in our body. Drinking alcohol also elevates your cortisol for a couple of days and prevents fat loss for those days. So how do you manage cortisol? Your body is trying to manage it for you. Whenever you're under stress, you're going into battle. It's the fight or flight syndrome. And your body says, okay, I'm going to give you this chemical, cortisol, so you can either fight to survive or you have the energy to flee and survive. But if you are in a stress state all the time, your adrenal glands are overstressed, your stomach is upset, you might have, beginning ulcers. And what ends up happening is your body says, it's okay, I've got you covered. We're going to hold on to this fat so that you also have this to draw on if you need to fight or flee. And so stress is like a survival mechanism that's gone haywire. And we're holding on to all this body fat because our body thinks it's got to go into battle. And so lowering your stress level is one way to help yourself lose body fat, as well as lifting weights and finding out which nutrient-dense foods agree with you on a chemical level. So for most women in their 20s, 30s, maybe early 40s, just cutting down, like getting in a calorie deficit, is good enough for them to lose weight and weight lift and do cardio and feel great. But when you hit menopause or perimenopause, you've really got to like screw things down and figure out what works for you. And it will work for you. You have to do the research. It will work for you. It worked for me. And I have so many medical problems, but it worked for me. So it has to work for you. There's nothing special about my body. I'm like every other woman. My period ended. I went into perimenopause. I had all the symptoms: moodiness, bloating, gaining weight, just brain fog, everything. And there might be a period of adjustment where you have to go through that. Oh, and the hot flashes, right? Who's had hot flashes? Give me a heart if you have had hot flashes. So those are really tough to deal with sometimes. So anyway, what I want to tell you too is about the program that I launched last week. And then I'll tell you in a minute when I'm going to invite you on. But this program is 12 weeks. It's about mindset, a mindset reset. Change the narrative about who you are as a woman, as a queenager, as a woman 50 plus, and my 40-year-olds are also welcome. You're not banned from, the 12 weeks just because you're not 50 or you're not in menopause. But it's about mindset reset, changing how you think about yourself, the narrative of your life, what you have to do to live your best life, what kinds of things will help you do that. And there's nutrition and training education in there, but a lot of mindset work. And I will set your macros for you and help you figure out this whole food thing. And so you can get a program that doesn't end after 12 weeks, but you have the tools to go forward and work the program on your own, hopefully. And in addition to that, I have launched a fitness platform. There's 2 membership levels, and you can also join that platform. And you can join that platform after the 12 weeks. Because for me, here are the things also that helped me be successful in my transformation. It was definitely the mindset work I did on myself. It was feeding myself the micronutrients I needed and getting really clear on what kind of foods did what to me and what to cut out. And once you cut them out, you'll stop having these symptoms and you won't even miss it. You like sugar used to be, I loved sugar. I've had a sweet tooth since I was a toddler. I can remember climbing up in my kitchen when I was 3 to get the Fred Flintstone vitamins because I thought they were candy. And I ate the whole jar. I was 3 years old. I was constantly looking for sugar. And I think that's one reason I got juvenile onset diabetes. But anyway, I don't crave sugar ever anymore. It doesn't appeal to me. I feel sick when I see something. Whereas 4 years ago, it was very hard to control my cravings around sugar. So that's really important, the mindset work. And also being consistent. Having patience. This is not lose weight in 3 months and you're good. Losing weight as a goal does not last. It's stacking your habits every day, long term, because your goal is health. And it's not way out there somewhere. You do something every day to move towards your goal of better health. And then the other thing was community. Just being around other women in my age group that were trying to do what I was doing or had reached a point that I wanted to reach. That is so powerful. We don't do anything alone. And women in our age group, we know how to connect. So the communities that I want to create in the 12-week masterclass Mindset Reset will be ongoing in the fitness platform afterwards. And that community is already started, and there's great connections happening, and women talking to each other and sharing stories and wins and supporting each other. It's so necessary. That's why people go to the gym. They go to a gym to see their friends and be supportive. They're sharing that experience together. And that doesn't mean you go to just have social hour. You go to work out, but you know everybody's there for the same reason, which I think is a key thing. And also they've done a lot of studies about people that have retired and people who, are, in an age group of not maybe going to a job every day. And the most important thing for happiness and longevity is connection with other people. Whether it's your church community, or your gym community, or you have a large extended family, or you have a big social group, all of those things are really important for our health and for our happiness. And I also knew when I had my triple cardiac bypass, I was 48 years old, and that was because diabetes had ruined my kidneys, but also had caused heart disease. So what I did after the bypass, I was in the San Francisco Bay Area at the time, and my doctors wanted me to go to cardiac rehab. Cardiac rehab. And basically that was relearning how to live your life post-heart surgery. And they should have like menopause rehab. How do you live your life post-menopause? Anyway, it was like a 6-week program, and I would go once a week, and 1 week it would be, recipes that were heart healthy. And every week we'd also have these sort of like circles to chat with a psychologist, because they know that people with cardiac disease, it gets worse. if they isolate themselves and they don't have a community and they don't have connection with other people. It actually hurts the heart. And there were a lot of men in my group that were, I was 48 at the time. I was the youngest there. I was the only woman. Most of the men there were hard-charging, type A, successful San Francisco Bay Area guys. They were, just type A, hard-charging, successful, and they had heart disease. And part of it was because they lived this lifestyle of isolating themselves, working too hard, stress all the time. And, the first circle we had, the men would go around and tell their story. Oh, I was on the golf course and I got a pain in my heart. Oh my God, I had to have a stent. And then another one, oh, I had to have a stent. They were like, I had to have a stent. Well, I'd had a triple cardiac bypass. I went home and told my husband, these guys they're total wimps. They had a stent. How about a triple bypass? How about a double organ transplant? Anyway, of course, I would not say that to their face, and I had compassion. But here's the thing about heart health and stress. Everything affects our body, everything. And in menopause, just like I went into cardiac rehab to learn how to live with heart disease, in a way, we should have menopause rehab. How do we live with menopause? It's a completely different game. And it's up to you to find out what works for you. And my 12-week program will give you ideas and it'll give you a structure. If you're new to weightlifting, it's covered. If you are an advanced or experienced lifter, you'll have a different training program. So it's designed in a way to hit every level of, person that signs up for the 12-week. And I'm just super excited about it because I want to see women get so damn healthy that is what people think when they see a woman 50 plus. Damn, she's a badass. They're queenagers at that age, right? They're not fat, old, ugly, no energy, blah, 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 invisible. We are totally not that. But we've been told, and we are treated that way because there are not a lot of women out in the world who live a fit lifestyle, are vibrant. There are a lot of women, we just don't see them. The ones we see that are depicted in movies or we see on the street or at the store or day to day, they don't look well. And I know there's a lot of incredible women who are nurses, and you guys see the worst of it. You do. You see the women that come in at 55, shuffling along, so out of shape, so unhealthy, but so unwilling to do anything about it. So you can do something about it anytime. It's never too late. You're not too old. You're not too far gone. You're not too sick. You can do one thing every day to get better. So I'm going to wet my whistle here for a second. All right, now I'm going to put on my glasses and I'm going to invite you guys to come on live with me. Who would like to ask a question? Or Tekucharski's a nurse. Yes, I love you nurses. So who would like to come on? Another nurse, Renata. Hey, Renata, so good to see you. All right, anybody want to come on with me and ask a question? I see a lot of hearts. Let's see. A lot of suffering in this world, absolutely. Lifting weights is the fountain of youth. I agree, Maureen. It totally is. It's totally the fountain of youth. I love that you're all about mental health and physical health. Yeah, they go together. They have to. Hi, Celine from Austria. No, Orla Pat Kelly, I'm not on HRT. I am not on HRT. Is all dairy bad? Yogurt? Absolutely not. For me, I just get plugged up and my body gets inflammation about that. Could you talk more about sugar? Yeah, it's not so good for the body at all. And the 12-week program, actually, if you sign up before Tuesday at 5 p.m., there's a 25% or a 20% discount. And I'm just going to tell you guys to go to the website. Oh, here's a lot of requests to join. I'm looking at this. Okay, I'm going to start with Luca. Let's see, is Luca coming on? Oh, I wonder how this happens. How do you know that you have inflammation? You're bloated, your joints hurt, everything's plugged up. Is it good to do an elimination diet? Yes, it is. And hi from Australia. How do you join? Hi, M. Tharley. Go to my Instagram and go to that Linktree link under my profile. Click that, and it'll take you to another page, and you can click the link for the 12-week program. My website is bodybeautylovelife.com /mind/reset/. That should take you there. Where will the replay sessions be when you can't attend live? Actually, that will be on its own platform. If you can't attend any session, there will be a replay area, and every other week that is not a live class session, there will be a accountability circle where you will meet with a group and you'll be accountable to each other. Let's see, Helen, come in. My daily routine, bedtime to waking up. I get up at 5. I have coffee and breakfast and then go to the gym. Is that you, Helen? There she is. Are you at the gym?
I am.
So, ladies, this girl here, she's my 65-year-old IFBB Pro friend who is amazing. If you don't know Helen Fritz, you need to follow her on Instagram. Talk about a badass queen age.
Well, I saw that you were live, and I just wanted to come on and say a quick hi. So you're doing amazing things. This girl is awesome. We're actually going to see each other in a couple of weeks. So I'm pretty psyched about that. But just keep doing what you're doing, girl. I love you.
Thank you, sweetie. So good to see you. Love you, too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, let's see. So will you link the groups and provide introductions? That's DK Lee. Do you mean from the fitness community to the 12-week? Is that what you mean? Oops, what am I doing here? I think Helen needs to turn off her phone, maybe.
Hold on. Let me see.
You're at the gym. Okay. Yes, actually, those will actually link after the 12 week. So you're going to be in the community with the 12-week, but your own community on my bodybeautylovelife.mn.com platform. And then after the 12-week, it expands. If you want to become a member of the larger group, it expands and then you're in that group. And it's totally amazing. I love it so far, just the way women are connecting. Hi, Kathy from Frankfurt, Germany. And any other questions? Anybody? Let me see who else might want to come on live. Maureen, geraniums and sunshine. I'm going to see what Maureen would like to say. Maureen, are you still here? Hello, Maureen.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Did you want to say anything?
No, I just pressed the live by accident. I have no idea how this works, but thanks for all the information.
You're so welcome.
Okay, talk soon.
Okay, bye,
Bye.
Maureen. Let's see, Infinite Wellness Consulting, the hardest part of my body to develop. It developed all at the same time, actually. It wasn't, women always say, how do I get rid of my belly? How do I get rid of my bat wings? And you have to lose the body fat, build the muscle, and it'll eventually develop. Also, for the 12-week program, someone asked, do I have to have a membership, gym membership? No, absolutely not. You can work out at home with resistance bands and free weights and having a bench. You'll still get results. During COVID, when the gyms closed, it was about a year there where I just worked out at home. And I not only maintained my fitness, I actually got stronger and built more muscle. What are my favorite carbs? Oh, yeah. I love sweet potatoes. I love acorn squash. I'm not a big bread person. I like blueberries. I like rice cakes. I really like plant carbs. I like whole food plant carbs. What else? Right now I'm on contest prep, so I can't even think of what my favorite carbs are because I'm eating them right now, which is sweet potatoes and acorn squash. So a tonal machine, rower, and Peloton, no need for gym membership. That's true. As long as you can build muscle, certain things like cardio do not build muscle. They burn calories. I'm sorry, they don't build muscle. They burn calories, but they don't build muscle. If you look at runners, they're endurance athletes. They're usually very slim and have, not a lot of muscle development. And I know this because my brother's a marathon runner and he does not have, the physique of someone who lifts weights. So and my husband's the same. He's a cyclist, an elite cyclist. And I always tease him and say, let me feel your muscle. There isn't much there though. And hi, Tamaya. There isn't much there, but when you body build and you build muscle, that helps you burn the food more efficiently. Let's see. Hi, Kathy. She's saying hello. And let's see. Anyone else? Let's see, Maureen. Yeah, then I think she just got off I'm going to look through here and see. As you got fitter, did you stop having to take medication? I was actually never, that's from Botanical Home. I was actually never on medication that I couldn't be off of. So I'm on medication my whole life since my transplant because my body needs to be immunosuppressed to a certain level. So my body doesn't wake up and say, oh my God, there's a foreign invader in here. So yes, I continue to take that medication, which is really important for my well-being. What if you don't have a gym membership? You don't need one. If I still have a cycle period, will the recommendation be the same about food? It depends. If you're still having your period and you're a woman who actually has plans in the future to have more children, I would say you've really, that's dialing it in a completely different way, where you really feed your body. I think if you're still having your period, you will find there's certain foods that make your PMS worse. So you can start ahead of the game to get your body in better shape around your period by finding out those, because we crave who craves chocolate? Who craved chocolate around their period, right? Or sugar. That was just, a lot of that is not our fault. We are not morally deficient. We aren't weak. It's the body doing its thing. And exercise can really help that. And eating certain foods and avoiding certain foods can help that too. Let's see. Is there a plan for vegetarians in the program? Absolutely. Food is food. And you can do vegan or vegetarian. And if you are vegan or vegetarian, you already know how to pay attention to what you eat. And yes, there's food lists and food plans if you're a meat eater or you're not a meat eater. Absolutely. That's so important. That's so important. The only thing about, let me see, looking for some more questions. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. You're so sweet. Hello from Minnesota. Hello back to you. Thank you also, guys, for, oh, and there's my darling Marie. Marie, I just saw you go by there. Thank you for following me on Instagram, all of you. My followers, you guys are the ones I talk to. You guys are the ones I think of when I do these, design these programs. And I'm an educator. I'm a professor. I love putting together information and articulating principles that will make somebody's life better and help them reach their goals. That means a lot to me. And then Teku Charsky had asked, speak to your daily routine, bedtime, waking up. I'm pretty routine oriented, so I wake up early. Sometimes I wake up at 3 because one, my husband snores, but other times 4, other times 5. If I wake up at 3 and I can't go back to sleep, I go out in the other room and I read, or I catch up on my work and I just wait for it to be 5 o'clock and then I make coffee. Normally I wake up around 5, I make some coffee, I get my dogs up, I feed them, I let them outside, then they go back to sleep, and then I kind of read, meditate. Meditate in the morning is really important to me. And then I'll make my breakfast, and then I'll go to the gym. So I always eat before I go to the gym a carb-rich meal that includes fat and protein. And then I go to the gym, I work out maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I have my coach now that I'm training with in person, which I absolutely love. He's amazing. We do that 2 days a week. And then 3 days a week, I go on my own. Then when I get home, on my way home, I stop at Starbucks. I know, I get an almond milk double latte. It's just, that's a habit I have. And I love that habit. And it doesn't, I can handle almond milk. Dairy, no, but almond milk is fine. And I can handle coffee. If I ever get to the point where coffee doesn't work for me, I'll stop doing it. Then when I get home, I wait maybe an hour, and then I have my post-workout meal, which is also carb rich, but with protein and fat. Then maybe 2 or 3 hours later, I'll have, maybe 3 to 4 hours later, I'll have my third meal. And then between 6 and 7, I'll have my last meal. And between eating, being done at 6, then to the next morning, that's an intermittent fast cycle where my body has a chance, the digestion has a chance to rest for 12 to 14 hours. And then, yeah, that's kind of my routine. I go to bed. I try to go to bed around 10, but I work really hard and I like to spend time with my husband. And sometimes that just means a Netflix movie, or, you know, we might go out to dinner, and I always know what I'm going to eat. I look at the menu before I get there. Again, I'm in contest prep, so I'm being a little more strict about everything. Nemega 2020 from Colombia, South America. You have a hard time improving the flaccidity of the inner part of the thigh. So that's just about weight loss. You know, you can't spot reduce any part of your body. You've got to lose fat all over while you're building muscle. And while you're losing fat, you might not see the scale change, but you'll see your body change. Like for the last 3 weeks, my coach put me on an elimination diet. So I was having bread once in a while and yogurt and all of this. And because I was in a build cycle, I was trying to build muscle. Then he said, okay, this is what we're going to do. My food now is clean proteins, sweet potatoes, acorn squash, oatmeal in the morning, egg whites, protein powder. And if you guys want to follow me on My Macros Plus, you'll see what I eat every day. That's an app that you can get, and it's free. And that's how I track my food every day. So if you want to see what I'm eating, you'll be bored to tears because it's the same thing every day. I sometimes have the same meal in a row just because it's easy. and I enjoy it, and my body does. But my username, if you want to follow me on my Macros Plus, is Jabu Juju, and that's spelled JABUJUJU. And I use that. Jabu was my darling Rhodesian Ridgeback who we lost a couple of years ago, and Juju is my husband's nickname for me. I didn't want to put my real name up there because I'd get too many requests, but you guys feel free to follow me and you'll see what I'm eating. But remember that I'm in contest prep and my calories might be 1,200. And in a couple of months, they might go down to, 1,000 for a while to strip the body fat to get on stage. So that's how that works. It's not a normal situation, and it's not what I recommend for anybody. Let's see, any more questions that I can find? I'm scrolling. During your training for competition, have you ever had an injury? If yes, how did you deal with it? That's a great question. I've never had an injury. I'm so careful in the gym. If my gym workouts take me an hour and a half or 2 hours, it's because I'm doing everything slow. Because I go to a meathead gym. It's not Planet Fitness where they don't have free barbells. They don't have free barbells there. It's all more free weights and Smith machines and machines. So, but if you go to like a meathead gym like I do, they have, the big iron plates and you got to move stuff around. And so I'm very careful. I've never gotten injured. However, the first year I was on stage, I didn't know this, but I had nerve damage in my right foot. And while I was on stage, I stumbled because I kind of had foot dropsy and my toes caught on the stage and I kind of, lurched forward. And what it did, it made me laugh. I laughed and turned around and they got a great picture of me smiling and laughing. But I didn't know what was wrong with my leg. And then after a while, I couldn't even lift my foot. I had no dorsiflexion. And that means your foot at the ankle, I couldn't move. My mind would tell my foot to lift up at the ankle to get that dorsiflexion. I couldn't lift my foot. And I got fitted for something that would keep a brace to keep my foot up. And the doctor said, well, we need to operate and see what's going on in there. And I'm like, no way are you going to open my leg. And it corrected itself through massage. And actually, I kept sending my leg love. I mean, not saying that's what healed it, but it did go away, thank God. So no, I've never been injured. I mean, just dropping something on your foot could ruin a year of preparation to get on stage. The other thing about being on stage that I think is hilarious, and I finally agreed to. So when my coach, he was my coach in the beginning and he's my coach now, when he suggested to me, you should be in a competition, and I didn't know what that was. And then when he told me bikini on stage, bodybuilding, I was like, are you serious? There's no friggin' way I'm getting in a bikini on stage. And actually, I ended up doing it, and it was so much fun. And then I did it last summer as well as the summer before. So I'm back with this wonderful coach who's in person, because during the pandemic, there was no way. And he didn't work online. So I worked with other coaches. But he also told me that for the first time, you need to get a wig. And I'm like, a wig? I'm not wearing a wig. I like my hair and it's short and whatever. And he's like, no, you need a wig. And I'm thinking, is he crazy? So we're going for several shows this year. And he said to me again, Julia, you need to get a wig. And I thought, okay, well, let me check it out. And so I met this incredible woman who's a wig maker where I live. She uses human hair, and I ordered a wig. So, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen on stage. I'm reminded that it's a performance. That's all it is. It's a performance. You put on a sparkly bathing suit and you perform. And the fun thing is that there's so many other women doing it, and you have this camaraderie and this sisterhood, and it all seems so like hilarious at the same time, but it'll be a different experience. And I do want to get my pro card. I do want to be recognized as a professional bodybuilder at age 65. Why? So that I can inspire more women. I think every woman who wants to get in really good shape and has the time, and it's an expensive hobby and the finances, you should think about competitions. I would absolutely love to see more women compete. And a lot of times they don't even have a category for our age group because there aren't enough, but more and more. And Helen, who was just on, she was one of the first. She got her pro card when she was 60. She's absolutely amazing. Oh, interesting. Peppermint oil on the back of your neck helps you stay asleep. I'm going to try that. How long do you work out at the gym? Anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour these days. Did you talk about mindset program? Is it beginner friendly? It absolutely is beginner friendly. It's for advanced lifters or experienced lifters as well as beginners. So the training programs you can do at home, you can do in the gym, you can do both. I wanted every woman to have an option based on where she is, because mindset is something we can all work on all the time. All right, let me, you look so great in that black bikini. Well, thank you. And Rebecca, I'm not sure how to say your name, but you are so wonderful. I see you on my Instagram all the time. You are always commenting and saying sweet things, and I want to thank you, Rebel Hall Jacobs, if I'm saying that right. You're just a darling. Thank you so much. How do I avoid snacking? How do I avoid snacking? I don't have cravings. I don't have to try and avoid it. I stop eating at 6 p.m. And this is where a lot of us get our snacking in, is after dinner, sitting in front of Netflix or whatever night. If you can say to yourself, 6 p.m., kitchen closed, I'm not eating anymore, you won't snack at night. And here's another tip. When you go to bed at night, give yourself the command, I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to walk for 30 minutes. I'm going to get up, out the door, and I'm going to walk. Tell yourself that. And as you fall asleep, make that expectation in your subconscious. When you wake up, it's not going to be, oh, do I feel like it? La, la, la. You'll put your shoes on. You'll be half asleep. You'll put your shoes on and whatever else you need to stay comfortable outside. You'll go out the door. You'll walk for 30 minutes briskly. You'll get home and you'll be like, oh my God, did I just do that in my sleep? You know? You'll get it out of the way. Tell yourself the night before you're going to do this. I tell myself every night I'm getting up in the morning and go to the gym. Every morning. I don't go every day. I go 5 days a week. But there's no question I'm going to get up in the morning and go to the gym. And I've even shown up at the gym at 5 a.m. when my husband wakes me up at 3 with his snoring. I just think, what the hell? I'll just go to the gym. And do you know there's people there? I go to a gym that's open 24 hours. Is walking considered cardio? Absolutely. Oh, Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca. Yes, it's considered cardio. And for queenagers, I do not recommend high intensity interval training. That's really hard on your body. Your body has a hard time recovering after that. Even 30-year-olds have a hard time recovering after high intensity interval training. And that means, so you might run really hard. You go outside, you might run really hard for 45 to 50 seconds. No, I'm sorry. You walk or run at a moderate pace for 45 to 50 seconds, and then for 10 or 15 seconds, all out, 100%, as hard as you can go. And then for the next 45 seconds, moderate pace, then again, 15 seconds, hard out, as hard as you can go. And you might do that 10 times. After that 10-minute HIIT session, you're wrecked for the rest of the day. Your body's like, I'm not doing anything else. It's not healthy. And the problem with us queenagers is Our bones might be a little more brittle. If we fall, that is bad news. You could get injured. What's better to do and is better at fat loss is low intensity sustained state or steady state cardio. That means walking briskly for 30 minutes to get your heart rate up. Get your heart rate up. On a treadmill, you might go for, your goal might be 30 minutes on the treadmill. On an incline of 12, you might start at 7 or 5, and you also do speed at 3. It's called the 30-12-3 method on the incline treadmill. And the incline will make your heart work a little harder, and the speed will make your heart look a little harder, work a little harder. And then for 30 minutes, it's really great aerobic activity. We need the cardio, ladies. Don't listen to these jacked bodybuilder guys who say, I hate cardio, I don't do cardio, and yet they look jacked, and they do take stuff to look jacked, but they don't want to do cardio because they're afraid they're going to burn off their muscle. That doesn't apply to us. Do the cardio. The best thing it does for you is it gets your blood flowing through your body. It oxygenates all your organs. Your most important organ, your brain. Your brain. You'll notice that if you do this on a regular basis, you'll get great ideas when you do cardio. Things will just clear up. Your brain fog will go away. You'll get more confidence. This is the thing, by getting up every morning and doing it for 15, 30 minutes, you are changing your body and the way it is structured, the way it handles stress, the way it wants to get healthy. Pretty soon your body is telling you what to do. It's like, oh, I gotta walk this morning. If I don't, I'm not gonna feel well. Cardio is really important. No more than 30 minutes 5 times a week. It's no big deal. Anyone can walk. It doesn't cost anything. Just get comfortable shoes. You're welcome, Holly Bell. Cardio every day, if you want. I think five times a week is really good. Yeah, as Schnicky says, cardio makes me feel great. Absolutely. Cardio is a fabulous thing to add. Okay, Kelly broke her foot Christmas Day, and she's bummed because she's hoping to reach a goal by your 57th birthday. So here's one thing, Kelly, about getting injured or getting sick, and you're like, okay, let's say you start going to the gym, you're doing your cardio, you're feeling great, then you get sick or you get injured and you can't anymore. This is where you have put on your fitness mindset. You've got a fitness mindset. This is a part of your lifestyle. This is a part of your mindset now. Don't take it as a setback. You can still live in your fitness mindset if you're injured or you're sick. And it's another form of self-care. You know, exercise is self-care. Eating well is self-care. And when you're sick, it's just another level of self-care. It doesn't mean everything's lost. You got to start over. Love yourself when you're sick. Love yourself the way a parent loved you when you were a little kid and you were sick. Hopefully you all had that. I did. I mean, in some ways my mom was great. Other ways she was a nightmare. But you know, when you get sick and those that love you take care of you when you're a little kid, take care of yourself that way. That's a form of self-care. You aren't set back at all. You aren't losing your fitness mindset. You still know what's important to you. That's really, really important. Body weight training such as push-up, etc., also okay instead of gym. Absolutely, Kathy. Body weight exercises are totally wonderful. In fact, I don't know if I have the book here, but it's called Jailhouse Strength. So how do you think these guys in prison that look so jacked get fit? They don't have barbells. They don't have gym equipment. They do all body weight exercises. So absolutely, you can do body weight. And that's a great way to start if you're a queenager. is to use your body weight. Don't feel like you have to use weights. And then as you get stronger, then you can add weights. That's a great question. Let's see, who else? Brush your teeth when you want to stop eating. That is a great tip. Sometimes I won't eat again because I don't want to go through the whole dental hygiene routine. Absolutely, that's a great tip. I love that. Brush your teeth. That's a great tip. Okay, let me see if I can bring someone else on. Requests to join. Therese Rostrom Engberg. I think Therese is from Sweden, maybe. Therese, are you here? Self-compassion, yes. Stitches and ribbons and scraps, absolutely.
Wait.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Are you on? I can't quite see you. I think we might have a Wi-Fi issue there. Are you there, Therese? Oops, I think we have a Wi-Fi issue. Let's see. There's not a whole lot of requests to join. Let's see what else. I'm doing upper body, but no treadmill. That's Kelly. Add treadmill. That would be great. My Macros Plus app. Absolutely. That's a great app to use, but you can use MyFitnessPal. There's another one called Lose It. You have a small rotator cuff tear. Can this heal on its own? Fragments in time 444. You know, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I don't answer questions like that. I have so much faith in the medical field, nurses especially, and doctors. And I think they are your first line of defense. If you have any injuries, you have any hurts, you have any pains, like people ask me, oh, I have joint pain, you know, what should I do? I always say, talk to your doctor first. Make sure you haven't done anything terrible to injure yourself, or if it's arthritis or something else. But I will say, if you're sore from the gym, you can do hot baths with Epsom salt in it. You can drink something called Calm, which is a magnesium supplement. You can drink that at night and it relaxes your muscles and gives you, you know, that mineral. Or you can use ice or heat. It just depends on what hurts and where and why it hurts. You will get delayed onset muscle soreness, sometimes 2 days after a hard workout. And here's the thing, it doesn't mean you necessarily had a really great workout. You might have worked muscles you have not worked as much before. But if that soreness, actually, I like that soreness. It makes me hyper aware of my body and that I really have been working the muscles. But if you have it so sore that you can't walk, don't work out for a couple days, you know. And if you are not feeling great but you want to go to the gym, just do an easy workout. Don't do the heavy weights. Bring your weights down a little bit just so that your body has movement. There's something called deloading that you can do. So after a hard 6 months of working out, doing a stage show, reversing in my eating, adding more calories, I might take a week off and deload. And that basically means either you don't go to the gym for a week, you let your body completely rest, or you go to the gym and you just go through the movements with really light weights just to keep your body, memory, and your mind-muscle connection going. Mind-muscle connection, really important in weightlifting. So a lot of these principles, you guys, they're so nuanced and you can't learn it all in one sitting. And I also don't think you can learn it in 1 year. I mean, I got my certification as a coach. It took me a year. And that book, it's like this thick. It was an online course, but it had incredible tests and videos and readings. And I learned so much and I'm still learning. There's no end point to learning about your body and how to take care of it. That's why I love fitness. There's like, you don't get to a point where I don't know everything. And sometimes followers send me messages and say, you know, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but la, 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 your form. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you for telling me your perspective. I want to learn. I'm learning all the time. So I think we need to remain open to those that know more than we do. I don't know everything. How did I start lifting? Oh, I entered an online fitness challenge with Bill Phillips, actually, who wrote Body for Life in the early 90s. I loved that book. That's the first time I started lifting weights at age 42. And I lost 25 pounds. And then I moved to San Francisco and lost my focus and gained it all back. But Bill was doing an online fitness challenge on Facebook 4 years ago for people over 40. And I knew his program, and he had adjusted it to be for people 40 plus, to be easy on the joints. So I did the online fitness challenge and I won. I didn't even know there was going to be a winner. But what ended up happening was I plateaued because it was the same exercises over and over and over again every day. There was no progressive overload necessarily. It was just really kind of to keep fit. And I wanted more. I mean, I was feeling so great. It took me 4 months to lose 10 pounds, but my body had tightened up and completely changed. And I wanted more of that. So I went and shopped around for other coaches and the rest, you know, blah, blah, blah. You got to find a coach that works for you. And everybody has a good fit. There's so many great coaches out there. And yeah, I think I'm a great coach, especially for women 50 plus, but I may not be everybody's cup of tea. You know, my coaching approach is gentle, be patient, be kind to yourself, just be consistent and elevate your mindset. It's, to me, mindset is number one. Some people want to be beat up by their coach and, you know, do that. And I've had some, you know, I don't know. I think everybody has a different personality fit. So you got to find who works for you. But what I find with women who are queenagers, we need the time to turn the ship around. 3 months ain't going to do it. You know, get in the best shape of your life means start now and keep doing it. And don't, like, she's not out there in your future. She's living in you now. She wants to come out. And I feel like when we throw things into the future, it's so nebulous. What future? What? You can have goals because you know what you're shooting for, but concentrate on today. Concentrate on this moment. What can you do now, today, to create a habit that will move you forward towards your goal? Knowing what you want. You want to be strong, fit, look and feel great in your clothes, have energy, live your best life. Start doing those habits now, day by day by day by day. Don't look at the scale in the bathroom. Just keep going and keep learning. And you will look up one day and go, oh my God, I've really changed. And take those progress pictures. You need those horrible pictures to convince yourself that, number one, now is the time. And number two, when you know, in 6 months or even a year, you're going to have days where you're like, I'm not getting results and it's la, la, la. And you're just like, what's going on? I'm losing my energy. And then you look at your first pictures and you're like, damn, look how far I've come. So you need to take those progress pictures. I'm going to try and get another person live because I said I would do that. And it's already been an hour. And I don't want to, see, there's just not too many there. So let me see if there's any questions. Cardio makes you feel great. Let me scroll down a little bit here. What's my sleep pattern? I don't have great sleep pattern. If you're in menopause or perimenopause, insomnia is a problem. And my doctor gave me some like sleeping pills that I tried that, ew, I didn't like them at all. I just had, first of all, it would put me to sleep for the first 3 hours and then bing, I'm wide awake. And then I'd have brain fog for the next day. I hated those. I really don't like taking medication if I don't have to. So my sleep routine is I try and, you know, exercise hard and do the cardio so that my body will then calm down at night and I can get some good sleep. Can you recommend any books to read on lifting and macros? Yes. Here's one on macros. It's backwards. Flexible Dieting. It was written by Alan Aragon. He is on Instagram. He's a guy who talks a lot about the science of macros, which is another way of saying flexible dieting. And this book, Atomic Habits, excellent book. A lot of you guys know about this book. And this one is one of my favorites. You Are a Badass. It's by Jen Sincero, and it's how to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. I love this book. She uses pretty salty language, but I love that book. And then this one is popular, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, popular book. And I got one more to show you. Jim Quick, Limitless. This guy, Jim Quick, also on Instagram, wonderful to follow. He's fabulous. He had a brain injury as a child, and what he's managed to do and achieve is absolutely amazing. What do I eat in a day? Actually, I'm putting all of that in my Instagram stories today. I'm putting all my meals in stories, and I said earlier, if you want to know what I eat every day, follow me on my Macros Plus app. Jabu Juju is my username. Just request a follow and I'll approve you. What was the beginning like for you? Did you have a trainer and work out several times a week? Did you get discouraged? I never got discouraged because I knew what I wanted. I knew it was going to take time and I was committed. And I just thought, I'm going to do this. Now, if you go into something and your desire, your focus is, I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. That's a very different focus than I want to be successful. I am going to be successful. So avoiding failure and going for success are two different mindsets. So I didn't get discouraged. You know, do I have days where I'm blue or feel sad? Or yeah, absolutely. But not about my fitness routine, not about my body, not about things having to do with this has added so much to my life. I've completely transformed on the inside in ways I did not expect at all. Weight training is the only thing allowing you to actually reverse age at a cellular level. I agree, totally. Any issues with osteoporosis? I have osteopenia. My mom was breaking bones pretty easily in her 80s. So I'm aware of that, but it doesn't stop me. I don't know. It's in my nature just to put my head down and keep going because I learned to survive as a child with diabetes. I just learned that no one was going to take care of me but me. Of course, my parents were taking care of me, but they had other things going on and younger children, a sister that died of cancer. And so once they saw, oh, she's taking insulin shots, she's fine. I wasn't really. I was only 11, but it was like, okay, I got to take care of myself. And I just put my head down and went forward. Is a coach different from a trainer? Not really. Not really. They're kind of interchangeable. People call themselves a certified personal trainer, or they call themselves a coach. Not really. It's really, you just kind of figure out what they are offering. Do you do yoga? I do not. I never liked yoga. I tried yoga in college And I think the reason is I'm a way more active, muscular body type. I swam competitively as a child. I love dancing. I love moving my muscles. And yoga is just too passive for me. I know yoga is excellent for stretching and people love it for the peace it gives them. But I've also been meditating since I was 17, like as a practice. And so I don't need that part of yoga to help me. I'd like to like yoga. I love being in India. I love the whole idea. It doesn't fit my nature. Um, Weight training, I've always seen as bulking up muscle. Long, lean muscle is my personal preference. So how do you train to achieve this? I'm 5'9" and weigh 59 kilos. My aim is toning. You will not get muscular and build if you don't take hormones or drugs to make you that way. The women that get really bulky, they want to be that way, and they take substances that help them be that way. Also, progressive overload will help you build muscle. It's hard. It takes longer to build muscle the older you get. So maybe you don't lift so heavy every time you go to the gym. It's not like you're a beast, more of a beast every time you go to the gym. There's no such thing as toning. I hate that word, to be honest. Toning, what is that? Jane Fonda used that word in the 80s because women were terrified of getting muscles. So she was like, well, we're just going to tone. You're getting muscles. Toning is like just a word that means not too bulky muscles, but you're still getting muscles. I always laugh at that word toning because it doesn't mean anything. You're building muscle. How much muscle you want to build and how you want it to look, you can control. The more fat you lose, the more muscle will show. If you don't have a lot of muscle, you'll still look slender, but the goal is to build the muscle so that you do, burn your food efficiently. But I agree too. I think long, lean muscle is gorgeous, and curvy women with muscle are gorgeous too. All right. Consistency builds momentum. So true. Flex by Joan McDonald. Yeah, Joan has a new book out called Flex Your Age. That book I would have held up, but I don't have it yet. It's ordered. Okay, you guys, I've kept you on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I want you to check out my 12-week program. I am super excited about this program because I've taken a lot of what women have told me gives them value, what they want, and put in my experience. And as a former professor, I love putting information together. I said this earlier, I love helping people reach their goals. And women my age, honestly, if I could pick one group of people on the planet that inspire me the most and I want to help the most, it's Queenagers. I was a professor for 40 years and I got really tired of teaching people who didn't want to learn, 20-year-olds, not all, but it just, the more I taught, the less I'd have students that really wanted to learn. And the ones that really wanted to learn, I'm still in touch with. They're like my kids, and they're all over the world because I taught in Saudi Arabia and Mexico and, all over the US as well. But having Queenagers to teach and educate and share, you guys are the most compliant, most information soaking people I've ever worked with. So send me a DM if you can't find the link. Send me your questions. I will answer them. And I want to, again, thank you all for following me on Dolphinine. I don't even know how this happened. I'm almost to 100,000 followers. That was never my goal. I started this Instagram in June 2020, and it just organically, and to me, it says women need to be told and reminded how amazing they are. They do. We do. All of us. And so I just want to thank you for being a follower. And if you're new, welcome to the Dolphin Pod. And yeah, that's about all I have to say today. You know, you can tell I was a professor because I can just yammer on forever. All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And again, send me a DM. If you have any questions, I'll send you the link. And I can send you the link not only to the 12-week program, but also to the fitness community platform. All right, my loves. You guys are great. Thank you for coming today. Bye.